Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
We are more than meets the eye.
Nope.
You can experience Transformers like never before.
Woo!
The brains.
I'm better than you in every way.
First time giving a pep talk. The leader.
On 3, 1.
The muscle.
Okay, he's a little intense.
And the rookie.
Why did you cut the door?
It was already like that.
Right? Yeah, that's right.
I really need new friends. Transformers 1. Rated PG. September 20th.
Hello. This is Adolf, and I have with me Jacob.
Hey, everybody.
And today we're reviewing a new 3D movie release. Actually, you're reviewing it. I'm just here to kind of help guide the conversation. So, the new movie is Transformers 1. You got to see this movie last night. So,
yes.
Let's start off with the 3D aspect, as per usual. How was the 3D aspect of Transformers 1?
Surprisingly underwhelming, but still good.
That's a little bit disappointing, because Transformers actually, for all their faults, they've had pretty solid, if not great, amazing 3D. The movies.
Oh, yeah. Like even the most recent live-action one from last year had terrific 3D, and this one just kind of a step back.
Okay. So why is it not that hot?
Okay, well, there's plenty of depth. I mean, there's depth constantly, and you could tell, there's layers and stuff, but there's just very little pop-out, which really disappointed me.
Okay.
It was either stuff was like, let's say if one of the Autobots was kind of like aiming a weapon, it was always either far off to the side where it didn't make any pop out impact, or it was just too fast moving of an image to really take effect. So that was just one of the most disappointing things about it.
Now, Realty has been really marketing this movie for 3D and saying it's eye-popping and awesome 3D.
Yes.
Are they just hyping it up?
Yeah, they're just hyping it up. Like I said, the depth is plenty enough. There is some bright spots, but it's just very little pop out, or it's gone in an instant, and it's just really disappointing.
Okay, you got some cool particle effects here and there, or
good particle effects. There's some good shots with like it kind of made me think of Coraline a little bit. Whenever, not like how it does in the tunnel, like whenever in the tunnel scenes where it kind of grows in length, but there's just like, oh, there's that distance effect that feels really nice, kind of like a tunnel like that. It's really nice. It's just nothing truly eye-catching.
Okay, so was there like a really cool scene specifically without spoiling anything?
It's really hard to say. Like, I mean, I could say it without spoiling, but it's just where a character is meeting their destiny falling. That's all I could say. That's the best scene of the 3D in the movie.
Okay. I guess that's going to be it for the 3D section. What score would you give the 3D?
7 out of 10.
Okay. That's solid. That's good at least. Pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like the depth is there. It's bright. It's colorful, even with the dimming effect of 3D glasses. It's just less 3D pop out than I'd like.
Now on to the movie itself. So it's been like 40 years or so, about 38, since the last Transformers animated movie. There's been plenty of live action movies.
Oh yeah.
So we finally get that, and I guess I'll summarize the story from your. I got this from your written review. We could add some more stuff here and there, but obviously I do not want to have that many spoilers.
Right.
Orion Pax is a miner who becomes friends with another miner, D16, and they eventually want to find some stuff that happened to the original Prime bots.
Yes.
They find another leader in Elita 1, and you kind of eventually find out who is about the leader of Cybertron, and it's just there's a whole race thing, and people are it's hijinks continue, as you can imagine, and eventually they find B127, and the four of them all together find an adventure to fulfill their destiny and to become more than meets the eye.
Yep, pretty much it.
In the original draft of your review, you put a lot more detail. The patrons have the full access to that full written review without any edits. But for the final review, it's on the website. I did cut it down to basically that because you gave a lot of details there, and I was like, "Whoa!"
It was a little hard about me. Like, I try not to give out major spoilers in the written review. I mean, that's just a lot of that stuff happened in the first half of the film. So,
all right. So, is this a pretty standard origin story, or what?
Yeah, it's pretty typical. Like, I never read the comics, and I remember watching the show, but it's been a long time ago, so I don't know if this has like any truth or like any like origin, like if it's like a spot on origin story, but it was a pretty solid origin story for what it is.
Okay, and the performances?
Largely good. Steve Buscemi is in the film, and he's Steve Buscemi, but it's just his voice doesn't really fit an Autobot.
Okay. What about the rest?
Brian Tyree Henry as D16 was the standout performance.
Now,
he's just really good.
I don't know who these characters are. Are these the characters named before they become Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, Megatron? Because
yes.
I was like, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Orion Pax, it's Optimus Prime, not a spoiler, or D16 is Megatron, and B127, I forget his actual name, but that's Bumblebee, of course.
Okay. So just throwing that out there because, you're like, oh, wait, and you're like, oh, who are these characters? And they get their namesake in this movie, right?
Yes, but not till the end.
Okay. How is the humor in this?
I won't say childish, but it's geared towards more children. Kind of has that animated child's movie humor a little bit. Although, like, the funniest thing is a callback to one of the voice actors is Key from Key and Peele. It has a callback to one of his his characters in the show Key and Peele. If you know the teacher, the AA Ron, there's a callback to that.
Okay. And Chris Hemsworth as the Ryan Pax, how is he?
Good. I mean, he does this Chris Hemsworth thing, with like a neutral accent, of course. Not it'd be kind of weird to have a robot with an Australian accent, but he kind of does this Chris Hemsworth thing until he starts becoming more and more of a leader. Then he starts breaking into the Optimus Prime.
Now, you mentioned the facial features that kind of bugged you.
Yeah, like the eyes and stuff is cool. It's the mouth that bugged me because I don't know. It didn't seem mechanical. It seemed too human-like. Even though there was a metallic sheen to the faces, it was just the oral movement was very, very human-esque, and it just didn't gel. It's almost like they were in a costume or something like that. It didn't feel right. Kind of almost Uncanny Valley-esque in that regard.
Interesting. The story's given like a lot of exposition dumps, or
there is like the movie starts off with an exposition dump. They kind of try to play that off as a joke, but it's a literal exposition dump, and there's at least two more throughout the film that's just pure exposition dumps.
How's the writing?
Kind of standard. I mean, it's an origin story that kind of follows the beats, and I'm just kind of glad that it doesn't like the dramatic stuff stays dramatic, the comedic stuff stays fairly comedic. They don't overlap really. It's just that's kind of a nice surprise. It doesn't go the Marvel route of inserting a joke that will deflate the drama.
Okay. So the plot, is it fairly predictable or standard or what?
Yeah, it's predictable. It's standard. If you use context clues with the names, you know how things are going to end up. But it's still a solid ride, and I think it's a really good introduction to Transformers if a kid has never seen it, or even if you're an adult who's familiar with Transformers. I think you'll get a nice rise out of it.
All right, so this is an animated movie. How is animation?
It is largely good, except for the facial features, but like the worlds itself is outstanding. I like the designs, and I kind of like the creative designs of like some of the animals and stuff like that. And there's like these sunsets that you see are like photorealistic. It looks amazing.
Okay. Better than a TV show, Transformers CG.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess cinematic, is a way of saying it, right? It does look...
Yeah.
Because, some people are like, oh, animation, shouldn't go to theaters for that.
Yeah, there's some cinematic heft to the animation here, I'll say that.
Okay, how is the music and sound?
The sound is great. The music is your typical kind of action movie soundtrack, If you've heard one, you've heard them all. Nothing really creative about it.
Okay, I guess we'll wrap up. Anything else you want to say, good or negative, about this movie?
I mean, it's worth seeing. I mean, the 3D is good. The movie itself is good. It's nothing outstanding, but if you need something to do this weekend with your kid, go see it. It's worth a watch.
All right, what score do you give it? The movie?
7 out of 10.
So
like the 3D.
Okay, 2 7s. All right, not bad though. That's pretty good. I mean,
it is pretty good. Yeah,
for a Transformers movie, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. I guess that's gonna be it from us. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
I got one more thing to talk about. We have our own merch store.
Woohoo!
It's a print to order, and it's on the website right now.
Woohoo!
We got t-shirts, we got totes, we got cups, skirts, we got just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got a little bit of everything. So I try to make these prices affordable. So you get some original designs, some fresh designs. And if you love 3D, like you listen to this podcast, you're going to love the products that we have here because it's all over 3D. And it's just 3dor2d.com/store. A link will be in the show notes, and if you just go to the website, it'll be there.
Woohoo!
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank MK Ultra, Gravity Head Zero, Travante Classics, and Axe Folk for being my super VIP patrons on Patreon.
You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dor2d@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.